Assume, verb, verb forms. Assume, assumed, 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 assuming. 1. To think or accept that something is true, but without having proof of it. Assume that. It is reasonable to assume that the economy will continue to improve. Let us assume for a moment that the plan succeeds. She would, he assumed, be home at the usual time. It is assumed that. It is generally assumed that stress is caused by too much work. Assume something. Don't always assume the worst, that something bad has happened. In this example, we have assumed a unit price of $10. Assume somebody, something, to be, have something. I had assumed him to be a Belgian. 2. Assume something, formal, to take or begin to have power or responsibility. Rebel forces have assumed control of the capital. The court assumed responsibility for the guards' welfare. 3. Assume something, formal, to begin to have a particular quality or appearance. Synonym, take something on. This matter has assumed considerable importance. In the story, the god assumes the form of an eagle. 4. Assume something, formal, to pretend to have a particular feeling or quality. Synonym, put on. He assumed an air of concern. Extra examples. I think we can safely assume that this situation will continue. It is generally assumed that they were loafers. It is reasonable to assume that the economy will continue to improve. It's all too easy to assume that people know what they are doing. Let us assume for a moment that the plan succeeds. People tend to assume the worst. A military junta assumed power in 1988. Don't always assume the worst. Harris then assumed command of the battalion. He automatically assumed that I had children. He had assumed a stage southern accent. His oldest brother assumed the role of father. I had assumed him to be French. I hope to go to college next year, always assuming that I pass my exams. It's generally assumed that stress is caused by too much work. She assumed an air of concern. She would, she assumed, be home at the usual time. The court assumed responsibility for the guards' welfare. We have assumed an average profit of £5,000 a month.